Good morning, y'all. So I've been thinking about doing this type of workout for a while. So this is my first attempt at trying to have a more inclusive workout for people who may not be able to do my typical workout that usually requires equipment and standing and lots of, moving around, mobility. So this workout is going to be great if you have any restrictions that mean that you can't stand or move comfortably, if you've got any type of lower body injury, if you're wheelchair bound, if you are just uncomfortable standing up to move for long periods of time at this point in your kind of fitness level, this workout is a great place to start. My goal is to help you gain kind of muscle awareness so that as you progress through your fitness level, you are able to progressively add more time to your workouts, add more weight to your workouts to grow more comfortable before kind of hitting what a typical workout would ask of you. So all you need is to be able to sit in front of something stable. So I'm sitting on the floor in front of my couch. You could be sitting at your kitchen table or at a bar stool in front of a counter, anything where you are sitting in front of a table surface. All right. So to get warmed up, we're just going to dance. So this is a recording. Nobody can see you. As long as you can move your upper body. Just trying to get a little bit of movement in, get that heart rate just a little bit up. So your warm-up is always going to be designed to do two things. One, to slowly elevate your heart rate so that you are increasing the blood flow to the muscles that you're about to use. And you're slowly elevating your heart rate. That way you don't go from 0 to 100 real quick. And to mimic the movements that you're going to be doing during the workout. So we're going to be moving our arms a lot, and we are going to be twisting our torso. So try and get those two movements into your warm-up. My pets are looking at me like, what is he doing? I'm having fun. Okay, so we are going to start with push-ups. And push-ups are often something that people kind of use to gauge their fitness level, but they can be super intimidating to do for a variety of reasons. Like I've now been pregnant 3 times, so there are, various levels of difficulty for me. Sometimes even doing elevated push-ups on your knees or on a wall can be a lot. So we are going to take, because you're lifting your entire body weight. So we're going to start by doing these push-ups in a seated position. So we want to target our chest with these push-ups. So that means that our hands have to be wider than our chest. So you want to start about this position. So put those hands on whatever surface is in front of you, your table or your couch. And then all we're going to do is bend our body forward toward that surface and then straighten our arms. All right. We're going to do this for about 30 seconds. Join me when you're ready. Now, this 30 seconds is just kind of a guideline. If you cannot go the full 30 seconds, then stop and rest. You know your body best. The point of a workout should never be to punish yourself. It should be to challenge yourself, but safely. Okay, so we're taking our arms out wide and then pushing. So as you're pushing, I want you to focus on squeezing your chest right here. You should be able to feel those muscles start to move as you straighten those arms. Rest. We're going to rest for 10 seconds. We're going to do that one more time. You can sit still and just breathe or go back to your dance during the rest. Get those hands nice and wide for me again. And let's go. So lower yourself down, press up. Squeeze in those muscles right there. We got 10 seconds left here. Making sure that you are breathing with the work, meaning that as you are pushing away from that surface, you are exhaling. And rest. All right, so the next muscle group that we want to focus on is our back. So before we get started, I want you to extend your arms overhead. And then I want you to just squeeze those arms back. Now what you should feel as you're squeezing your arms back, those should be your shoulder blades that are coming together. So visualize your back for me. Your arms straight up in the air. And here's your 2 shoulder blades. My hands are on your shoulder blades. Now what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze our arms down. So I could just do this all day without actually engaging my back. So we want to focus on engaging the back muscles while we pull those down. So here's your shoulder blades right here on your back. As you're pulling your arms down, I want you to focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together. That's going to ensure that we're actually activating those lat muscles on our back to make sure that we are using those muscles correctly. All right, so same thing, we're going to try for 30 seconds here. So arms are up, and as you're lowering those elbows down, you're squeezing those shoulder blades together and then relaxing. So as you straighten that arm, you let go of the tension in your back, you're stretching those muscles out. Squeeze down and release. At your own pace here, so you could go faster or slower than me, but a common misconception in workouts is that faster is better. Not always the case. And rest. So those shoulders are we're warming up those shoulders by keeping those arms overhead. We're gonna work those next. We got one more time for those pull downs. So get those arms up, squeeze those shoulder blades down. So you wanna keep your arms slightly in front of you here, pull down. So we're just focusing on getting awareness of your scapula, of your back muscles, pulling those together. 10 seconds left, squeeze them in. 5. And rest. All right, so those shoulders were engaged and activated. Anytime your arms are above your head, those shoulders are gonna be working. So we're gonna give those a break here. I'm gonna back up so you can see me a little bit better. So now we're gonna focus on those biceps. So I want you to turn your palms forward. Anytime we are working muscles, you always want to be thinking about the position of your body in relation to gravity. So right now, so if my palms are turned upwards and I'm squeezing up, this muscle right here, the bicep, is what's working against gravity to raise my arm up, okay? So we're going to do one arm at a time here. So turn one palm up, and I want you to take your other palm and rest it right there on your arm. So I can just kind of lift this arm here, and you can feel that muscle changing, growing, flexing, contracting, and extending. What I really want you to focus on now is make a fist, like you're getting your blood drawn. You got to squeeze and squeeze that muscle up. See if you can make that muscle even harder as you're flexing it on the way up. Okay, we're going to do 30 seconds on each arm. Let's go. So one arm up, make that fist, squeeze. See if you can feel that muscle. Squeeze it up. Should start to feel that tension. So remember, this workout is not about pushing yourself to your extreme limits. This is about gaining awareness of where your muscles are and how to target them correctly before we add any sort of load or weight. Squeeze, feel that muscle change underneath there. Dig in there until you feel it. Rest. Now let's switch arms. So other palm open. Squeeze that hand, make that fist, and then squeeze up. I can't see you, but I know you're doing a great job. Squeeze, 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 squeeze it up. We've got 15 seconds left. Hi, puppy. Feel that muscle. Even if you got to dig your fingers under there, it's underneath all that fat, I promise. You all have muscles. Whew, rest. Hi, puppy. Mommy's busy. We've got a few more moves and then I'll love on you. Okay, excuse me. Excuse me. Move over here. Move over here. Carmen, move over here. Okay, Carmen, for real. Move, baby. Move, baby. Move, baby. Mommy's got some more moves to do. All right, so now we're going to focus on the back of those arms. So those are called, sit down, baby, triceps. So we have to engage our shoulder a little bit here to get those to activate. Oh my gosh. So we're going to take our arm up to shoulder height. We're going to do the same thing here that we did with our bicep. I want you to put your hands here, 1, to support your elbow as you lift it up, 2, to feel that muscle contract. So you're going to squeeze that arm away, and I want you to feel where that tricep is. Feel around until you feel which part of your arm is contracting. So as you squeeze out, you should be able to feel that muscle harden as it's contracting. We're going to do 30 seconds on each arm. Let's go. So hold that arm up. Dig those fingers in there. Squeeze. So you're making your fist still. You're squeezing out so you feel that tricep harden right there. You can relax that shoulder a little bit. You don't have to keep those shoulders hunched up. Squeeze. Always breathing on the exertion. And rest. Whew. Now we got to get that other arm in. Arm up. Squeeze. Let's go. Squeeze. Oh, I'm catching myself doing this. Relax that shoulder. You always want to keep those shoulders down. Just feel where that tricep is flexing. So you can do this. If you don't feel it flexing, try and focus on how you can get that muscle to flex. Rest. All right, now we're going to work on those shoulders. This is one of my favorite things to do because it's surprisingly hard. So make sure that if this starts to burn too much, that you are listening to your body. Burn is okay. That means that your muscle is working, but you don't want to push past that point where you're going to end up injuring yourself. So it's always okay to stop whenever you need to. So we're going to take our elbows up. We're going to hold them right at shoulder height. And then we're just going to rotate up and down, up and down. We're going to do that for 30 seconds. Let's go. So right at shoulder height, up and down. You can alternate if you'd like. Whatever feels good to you. Just rotate up and down. 10 seconds left here. I know those shoulders are probably starting to burn. They've been working already today. 3, 2, and rest. We're going to do that one more time before we move on. 3, 2, rotate. So this is working your shoulder in that rotator cuff. We always want to make sure that if you are going to add any type of weight to this, that you do it without weight first to get it properly warmed up. So keeping those shoulders down away from your ears. When things get hard, we tense up that neck. Your neck is what we do not want to be sore. And rest. All right, we've got 2 moves left. We're going to focus on your core now. So a common misconception is that core only means abdominal muscles, and that is not the case. Your core is literally everything from shoulder to hip. Sweet girl. So right now we're going to take our arms, excuse me, puppy. I know, I love on you soon, I promise. We're going to take those arms up. We're going to extend back a little bit. I'll turn sideways so you can see a little bit better. We're going to extend back a little bit, arching that back, and then we're going to come down as low as you can go forward. Okay? So that's going to be working 2 things. It's going to be working your lower back, your erector spinae, and that's going to be working some abdominals in the front. So remember that your core is everything back in front from shoulder to hips, okay? So we got to make sure that we work it evenly. A lot of times people think core and they only work right here, and that leads to severe imbalances when you're not working everything equally, okay? So let's get ready. Arms up, excuse me, and then squeeze down. So remember, I want you to focus, you cannot poke me in the belly, honey, on that body awareness. So focus on keeping your back supported as you arch it back a little bit, and then finding those abdominals as you squeeze down. It's all about becoming aware of your body and how it feels when it's working correctly, and you're engaging those muscles when you should be. And rest. That hit the spot. We're going to go through those crunches one more time. So arms up, arch back. So that's when you contracting your back, stretching your abs, and then crunch forward. When you're stretching your back, contracting your abs. So it's always a push-pull here. Reciprocating on each side. Breathing with the exertion. and rest. All right, we have one more move that we're going to go through today, and that is a twisting torso rotation. So we're going to try and keep our arms up again. If that is starting to bother your shoulders too much, take it out. Okay, you can keep your arms down, but I want you to sit up as tall as you can, stretching out your torso. When we're sitting, we tend to kind of collapse our spine. That's where we get 1-4 posture, and then we're not engaging any muscles. So we want to sit up nice and tall. I want you to imagine pulling your belly button back towards your spine. Just visualize a little rope on the inside of your belly button. Pull it towards your spine. And what we're going to do is we're just going to twist. Twist. 30 seconds. Let's go. So you can have your arms up or they can relax as long as your spine is nice and tall and your shoulders are down. We're going to twist to each side. Now, when we are rotating, we're working like a rectus spinae, again, that muscle on the lower part of your back. We're working those abdominals as we're pulling our belly button in tight to protect our spine. And now with that twist, we're also adding in those oblique muscles, which run along the side of your body. Squeeze. Rest. So we're going to rest for 10. We're going to do that one more time, and then we're going to stretch. Puppy. All right, let's go. Last 30 seconds. So as you are rotating, I want you to focus on how you can feel the contraction on the direction you're rotating towards. You should also feel a stretch on the opposite side. Now, your distance that you rotate, your range of motion is completely up to you. It could be a little turn. If you have some more range of motion, it could be a bigger turn. 3, 2, and rest. All right, now we are still sitting, so now we're going to focus on how to stretch all of those muscles effectively. A lot of people tend to skip their stretch. Come and move, baby. At the end, because they're like, oh, I'm so tired, I worked out so hard, and then they end up regretting it later. Not stretching is the #1 cause of injury, because then when you don't stretch those muscles up, they just work so hard, then they clamp up and they get really tight, and then when you go to work them again the next time, they're so tight that they snap. Okay, it's like a rubber band. So now we're gonna, so if you're still right in front of your surface, you can lean one arm on that. I've backed up a little bit on the floor, so I'm just gonna lean my hand on my leg, and you're gonna take one hand and you're gonna arch it over. So you should feel that stretch in those obliques that we just worked, and a little bit in your back on that side. Now, whenever we're stretching, we wanna hold for a minimum of 8 seconds. 15 seconds is better. All right, from here, we're going to, while we're leaning over, arching over, we're going to lean forward. Now you should feel that stretch a lot more in the back. It's really important when we're stretching to keep breathing. After you work those muscles in your heart, you really need oxygen. That's how they recover. Your muscles need that oxygen to recover. So now let's get the other side. So relax that one arm on the table in front of you or on your leg, and then just arch straight over. As far as you can go comfortably, and then lean forward. Again, as far as you can go comfortably. My belly is in my way a little bit, so I can't go as deep as I'd like. So go as far as your body will allow you to go. All right, relax that arm. Again, sitting up nice and tall, stretching out that spine, pulling that belly button in with that rope towards your spine. You're going to take your hands behind your back and clasp them together, holding your own hands, and then you're going to press those hands down towards the floor. You should feel that chest kind of open up. You want to focus on pushing those shoulders down away from your ears and back towards your hands. So you can kind of see where my shoulders are naturally, and then I'm going to press them back a little bit, bringing my chest up. We're just going to hold that. Remember, 8 seconds is the minimum, 16 seconds is better. And relax. All right, now we're going to stretch out those biceps. So you're going to take those palms, turn them towards the back of the room with your thumbs facing down. You're going to raise those hands up to shoulder height, and then you're going to press them back. So what's really important here, this is what's hardest for me with this stretch, is to not raise your shoulders up while you're doing it. So focus on relaxing those shoulders and just press those hands back. So you should feel that stretch all along the inside of that arm right there. All right, now we're gonna focus on stretching out those shoulders. So if you wanna stretch the back of your shoulder, that upper back, you're gonna take that hand across your body. And just hold it across your chest. So making sure to drop that shoulder down. This is also great for stretching out that rotator cuff that we worked. And let's get the other side. All right, last muscle we need to stretch is the backs of those arms, those triceps. So the best way to get that muscle is to pick that arm above your head and bend that hand back to touch your upper back. You're gonna take your hand, your opposite hand on that elbow, and pull it back. So you should feel that stretch along the back of that arm. This stretch can be kind of uncomfortable, depending on how flexible your back is, as you're stretching out your back to get that there. So you don't have to hold it for very long. You can, instead of, if you can hold it for that full 8, then hold it for 2, rest, 2 more, and rest, building up to get to that 8. And let's switch arms. Whew. We are done. So we always finish off our workouts with a nice big deep breath. So I'm going to take your hands, inhale up through the nose. And while your hands are up at the top of that and you're reaching towards the ceiling, pulling that belly button in towards your spine, you are holding your breath. And now exhale down as you relax. Let's get that one more deep breath in. And relax. And just to finish it off the way we started, we got to have those bookends. Little dance before we leave. And the music ended. So there goes our dance party. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this helps you be a little bit more confident in identifying your muscle groups and learning how to move them appropriately. And I hope to see you through the screen again